All right. So hi everyone. Today, please, if I'm audible, kindly give me a thumbs up. If you can hear me clearly, please kindly give me a thumbs up. All right. Thank you very much, Rashida. Thank you so much, everyone, giving me a thumbs up. So once again, good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you. How are we doing? If you've had a splendid day so far, if you're having a productive day as well, all right, please give me a thumbs up. If you're doing well, please give me a thumbs up. Amazing. And if you're ready for today's session, please send in the confetti. So I'm going to use the confetti right now, and you see what a confetti looks like. So this is the confetti. Okay, so people call it flowers. Okay, so send in the flowers if you're ready for today's session. Amazing. I'm loving the energy. Loving the energy. Amazing. Thank you so much, Olakunle. Thank you so much, Rashida. Thank you, Demand. All right. Amazing. Amazing. Okay, so very quickly, I'm just going to hop right into what we have for today, right? So that you can be able to leave today's session with something tangible, okay? So in a few seconds, I'm actually going to just share my screen, and then you're going to see what I have for today. All right, so in the comment section, all right, in the comment section, okay, we have the comment section. You can put in your questions in the comment section and so on. So I wanted to put where you're connecting from, what country you're connecting from, what state you're connecting from in the comment section. You can put in your name and what country you are connecting from. I would like to know. In the comment section, kindly put in your name and what country you are connecting from. So I'm waiting for some replies in the comment section. Or you don't want to know where you're connecting from. Why? Please can you use the comment section and just tell me. Let's know what country you're connecting from, right? In the comment section. Okay, thank you very much, Dari. Dari is saying, Dari is connecting from Lagos. Nice to meet you, Dari. James is connecting from Nigeria. Nice to meet you, James. Olalekon is connecting from Ado-Ekiti. Thank you very much. Onyechuku says she's connecting from Biafra. Amazing, interesting. Okay, Edith Young says she's connecting from Lagos. Okay, can I get more answers, please? In the comment section, just tell me, where are you connecting from? I want to get more replies. Let's have more replies to make this session engaging. Okay, I've seen some very interesting locations like Biafra. Okay, I've seen Lagos, I've seen Ado-Ekiti. Amazing. Nigeria. So just tell me, where are you connecting from? If you're connecting from Cameroon, you can put there. Anywhere. If you're on C, you can also put there. All right. Amazing, amazing. Okay, so that's just on a lighter note. Okay. Some questions. Please do well to use the comment section so that today's interaction would be splendid. Okay. So let's quickly move on to what we have for today. Let's move on to what we have for today. Okay, so for today, we are starting, as you already know, an AI automation course, okay, with you, all right? So today, we are going to work on building your first AI executive assistant, okay? So I'm going to walk you through the workflow, all right, using a particular tool, all right? We're going to use different tools rather, but the workflow is going to be founded on a particular tool, which you're going to know shortly. All right, so keep it coming in. I can still see what we are sending in the comment section. So welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad to see you. Happy to see you. All right, so let's move on to what we have. So about Tenalytics Business. Tenalytics Business, we are the one hosting this program, okay? So Tenalytics Business is a leading e-learning platform, and we are designed, okay, to help organizations across the world, Nigeria, UK, Ghana, anywhere across the world, Canada, all right? We are designed, okay, to help organizations across the world empower their teams with a wide array of professional development options, okay? So we offer different diverse tools, okay, different diverse trainings, ranging from what you're going to go through now, AI automations to data science, data analytics, agile project management, different things, okay, website development, everything, even business, okay, managerial trainings. We do all of that, okay. So with access to top quality courses across diverse disciplines, okay, we have so many courses, top quality courses that once you're done going through those courses, you can actually land jobs. You'll be so confident that you have been able to upskill, right? So we have access to such top quality courses. So Analytics Business addresses the continuous learning and development needs essential in today's fast-paced business environment. Okay, so this is what we do and even much more. And as you go through in the program, you're going to see more things that we actually offer. And one of the things we offer is what I'm about to show you, AI automation. So if you have companies, if you have friends that want to transition into tech, okay, they are not in tech, but they want to train on different things, managerial things. They want to be able to have leadership skills in their companies and whatnot. We at Analytics, we are here for you, all right? We offer all of these courses and much more. So let's move on. So who is this? Who do we have on the screen? Well, that's me, okay? So my name is Akunna Anyampa, all right, as some of you already know, and I'm a senior data science associate, okay? And I'm a seasoned technology professional with half a decade years of experience across different industries. I've worked in sales, health. I've also worked around security, IT. I've worked telecom, in education, marketing, even worked with NGOs and had some form of partnerships with them as well, right? So what have I done with them? I've helped them, build some of their data analytics systems. Okay, I've helped them, build up some form of AI automations as well. All right, and what's more, so many other things basically. All right, so I'm vast in Python, SQL, Power BI, Tableau, Looker Studio, R, Excel, and so many other things that I won't be able to add on the slides. Okay, so you're definitely in safe hands. That's what I'm saying indirectly. So let's move on. So if you want to connect with me, you can just go online to your LinkedIn and send me a connection request, and definitely we'll both connect, and yeah, we can build a relationship from there. Definitions. Let's move on to what we have for today, okay? I like to always go straight to the point. Let's move on to definitions. You already know that you're here for AI automation. You want to understand the basics. You want to understand how to do one or two things, at least as a beginner, okay, moving into the AI sphere. So let's move on to definitions. So a quick one, before I move on to the next slide, can anyone in the comment section tell me what is AI? What do you think AI is? So class has begun. What is AI? Let's kindly use the comment section. If you put something in the comment section, I'll read it on your behalf, just for orderliness. What is AI? Or what do you think AI is about? Anyone? I'm pretty sure we use AI tools every day. I can even mention some of those AI tools. ChatGPT, okay, Google Bard, DeepSeek, Perplexity. The list goes on, all right? So please tell me in the comment section, what is AI? Or what do you think AI is? If you're not correct, I'll correct you. Anyone? Okay, so I'll just move on from that. I think this is going to be a very quiet class today. Interesting. Okay, so AI, let's move on to the next slide. AI stands for artificial intelligence. Even if you don't know anything about AI, A is for artificial and I is for intelligence. Okay, so it's a field of computer science, which most of us already know, and it's focused on creating systems that can perform tasks that normally require human intelligence. Just the way ChatGPT can perform tasks that normally would require human intelligence, all of these things are what AI tools. Okay, so AI is a field of computer science, and then it's focused on creating systems that can perform tasks that normally requires human intervention, human intelligence, human understanding. That's what AI is in summary. Now, what are these tasks? If you notice in the previous slide, I mentioned some tasks. They help us perform tasks. So what are those tasks that they can perform? These tasks include understanding language, like ChatGPT understands your question, right? It's a computer, it's a computer program, right? But it understands your question, it understands your communication. So understanding languages, recognizing patterns, that is facial recognition. I don't know how many of us use OPE, but if you're logging onto your OPE app, sometimes they ask you to use your face, okay, or your fingerprint or whatever it is that they've asked you to do, all right? And then it recognizes your face, understands your facial structure, and recognizes if this is Akunna or not, if this is Rashid or not. Okay, so all of these things are application of AI. Okay, these are tasks that AI can help us perform. Next, we have making decisions. You can use AI, right, to make decisions. For instance, we have self-driving cars. Before, you'd be thinking, how can I actually enter a car that is driving itself? But it's happening. It's been happening for the longest time now, for years. Right? We've had self-driving cars, and that's an application of AI. All right, that's an inbuilt system whereby a computer now can be able to make some kinds of decisions. All right, choosing when to brake, choosing when to accelerate, and so on. All right, that's an application of AI. Next, we have learning from experience. Okay, I'm pretty sure a bunch of us, if not all of us, use YouTube. All right, I'm very sure we all use YouTube, if not all. Okay, most of us use YouTube. And if you check YouTube, the first time you log onto your YouTube, let's say you're using a freshers account, a fresh start, and you just log onto your YouTube, that first video that you watch on YouTube, the next time you get to YouTube, all right, or even as you're watching it, YouTube gives you some recommendations similar to what you're currently watching or what you have previously watched. Okay, that is learning from your experience. It's learning from previous knowledge. Okay, that is an application of AI. So let me not bore you with all of these things. Let's move on quickly. Now, what are artificial executive assistants? Okay, what are artificial executive assistants? AI executive assistants or AI agents are advanced systems. Okay, they are very advanced systems that can understand instructions, all right, and perform tasks usually done by human beings. Okay, so you can be able to automate your entire company, automate an entire process using what? AI agents. So what will take you take you lots of minutes, take you hours and whatnot, you can actually use AI agents to automate these tasks for you. All right, you give it instructions and then it goes ahead and does one or two things. Okay, so you're going to get to see that shortly. Now, what sort of tasks can these AI executive assistants do? They can do customer support. They can help you with appointment booking, lead generation, lead qualification, research and data summarization, generating quotes, data entry, multiple step workflow automation, and the list goes on. Voice and text interaction, sales support, and the list goes on. All right, they can help you do so many tasks out there today. AI agents are really, really powerful, right? And I'm going to introduce you to the workflow today. Now let's look at AI agents, okay, in simple terms. Probably I'm using the big terms. So if someone asks you what are AI agents, so in the most simple term, okay, AI agents are like digital workers. The way you employ your physical workers who go to work and everything, you have digital workers. AI agents are actually workers, right? But like they are computer workers, they are AI workers. They are working for you as a matter of fact, right? But they are digital. They are working. They can understand instructions. They can understand what you want. They perform tasks just the way human beings can perform tasks without even needing sick leave, right? Without needing breaks and everything. They are very, very efficient, okay? Depending on how you create them anyway. They are built to be efficient. So AI agents in quotes are digital workers. Next, we have another concept, chatbots. Now, someone will be wondering, okay, what is the difference between the normal ChatGPT that we all know and the AI agents? Okay, so chatbots are simpler AI systems, right? So they're actually just designed for conversational interactions, garbage in, garbage out. You ask it a question, it gives you a reply, okay? So you're not like telling it, oh, come and do this for me, right? You're not like automating a task and telling it, okay, go ahead and send this email for me, go to this tool and do this for me. No, it's just like one-on-one interaction. You tell it, you ask it a question, immediately it gives you a reply, right? So they are designed for conversational what interactions. They mainly provide information or basic assistance. They can't do lots of tasks, okay? They are limited. But when you start working with AI agents, they are your digital workers, all right? You can program them and plan them in such a way that they can be able to go through, they'll be your virtual assistants, okay? You can tell them, okay, I want you to be able to book this appointment. Anytime this happens, book this appointment. Anytime this comes in, send this email, etc. Okay, so those are AI agents. So that's that. I think I'm giving you the foundation. So if you understood what I've explained so far, please give me a thumbs up. If you understood the background of the whole concept of AI agents, understanding chatbots, understanding what AI is and whatnot, please give me a thumbs up. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you very much. So let's move on to the practical aspect of today's training. So I'm going to use a project. I'm going to use a case study, okay? It's case study approach for you to be able to tag along. So this is the problem scenario, okay? So I always start with the problem statement, and then I'll bring up the solution. Now, the lady we have on the screen, her name is, she's Danielle, rather. Okay, so Danielle has a list of junior employees that she needs to meet with officially over the next 2 weeks. However, due to her very busy schedule and other official responsibility, okay, office responsibility, she doesn't have enough time to send form acknowledgement emails. She doesn't have the time to go ahead and start notifying the HR once the employees complete their forms. And she doesn't also have the time to start scheduling meetings with these employees. That is those of them that have submitted their forms, submitted imputed data into the forms. Okay, so she doesn't have time for all of this. So she wants us to help her automate this entire process. Okay, she wants us to help her automate the entire process without her having to lift a finger. All right, so I'm going to show you how to do that shortly. So what's the solution? All right, so Daniel has reached out to me on your behalf. Okay, so reached out to me for assistance in building an AI agent that can automate these processes using make.com. So earlier on, I told you I was going to tell you the platform that we're going to use for today's session. And the platform we're going to use for today's session is called make.com. How many of you are familiar with make.com? If you're familiar with make.com, kindly give me a thumbs up. So I'm going to circle the word so that you can see it properly. Make.com. Okay, this is your, okay, Michael is familiar with make.com. Amazing. All right, so we're going to make use of make.com, all right, for our AI workflow automation. All right, so our goal is to help Daniela set up a form and do 1 or 2 things and help her automate the process so that she'll be a lot more calmer. So let's move on. So as you can see on the screen, we have Make, all right? So that's their logo over here, all right? And it was formerly called Maps, okay? All right, so that's the former name. Anyway, it doesn't matter, but just know that on the side. Then today also, we're going to make use of Google Forms. And then we're also going to make use of Google Sheets. And finally, we're also going to make use of Google Mails. We're using lots of Google products today, right? So we're going to automate the process for her. So before I move on to the case study, all right, proper, what are the jobs? Then we ask, okay, what are the jobs that I can find again once I'm done learning AI automation, learning data science, learning 1 or 2 things around AI, machine learning? What are the jobs that I can actually get, from these skills that I'm going to acquire? Amongst many, these are some of the jobs. You can become a machine learning engineer. Okay, you can become a data scientist. You can become a data analyst. You can become an AI researcher. Yes, they look for AI researchers. Okay, those who can actually help companies that already have AI tools to upgrade. Okay, they can research on new trends, research on ways to improve what's already existing. You can become an AI researcher, okay, and development strategist. You can become an NLP and computer vision engineer, right? You can also move on to ML ops and AI infrastructure. So the list goes on. Okay, trust me, what I have on the screen is just a handful amongst many, right? Many job families out there. We have AI product managers. Okay, this is really, really pushing right now. We have AI ethics and responsible AI people. All right, we have those who, as AI is coming in, that means data is going out, right? A lot of people are trusting these AI tools with their data and everything. So we need those who can even secure, the information that we are putting out there within the AI family and so on. So the list goes on. We also have the generative AI engineers, and the list goes on. Okay, so these and more are the things that you can actually choose out of and become. Okay, you can build yourself around these job families so that at the end of everything, you'll be able to stand out in the industry, right? So once you're done learning of this, where can you get jobs from? Where can I get jobs from? Important question. I just put in 3 things there amongst many. The first is LinkedIn. Getting job on LinkedIn is not just the contemporary way of just going there, post a job and then you apply. Well, that's one route. But another way you can get a job from LinkedIn is networking. All right. So once you learn how to network very well on LinkedIn and people are aware that this is what you do, trust me, once people know that this is what you do, when opportunities come up, you're going to be the first person that comes to their mind. Right? So it's very important that you learn how to network on LinkedIn because it opens you to doors, numerous doors of opportunities. When people are still looking for a job, you're the one saying no to jobs. That's made possible using LinkedIn. You also have another platform called X, formerly Twitter. That's another amazing platform that you can actually use as well. And we have other different, job boards, legit job boards that are actually out there. Okay, but a good place for you to start as a beginner is LinkedIn. So let's move on to what we have for today. Now that I've given you a soft landing to show you that what you're about to learn is very important. Let's move on. So the first thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up make.com and I'm going to share my screen. So I'm going to show you how to set up everything from scratch. Make.com is the AI automation platform that we're going to be using today to help Danielle automate her process. I believe you should be seeing the screen right about now. If you can see the AI automation screen with Make, please give me a thumbs up just to be sure. All right, thank you very much. So that's what we have there. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to come over here to where we have get started, and then you sign up. You sign up over here, okay? You sign up on the get started platform. So you click there. And how can you sign up? You can either choose to just slot in your email and a complicated password, very important. And then you move on. You can either do this. You move on, you put in your country, you put in your hosting region. And please don't lie, always put in the accurate country, put in the accurate region, okay? It's very important. So I'm just going to sign in with my email for this. So I clicked on continue with email. And once you click on continue with email, if you want to follow that route, I will just, okay, please give me a minute. I shouldn't follow this route. I'm going to try this out with another platform, with another email rather. Yes, I'm going to reshare my screen shortly. I'm doing what I want to do now with another email. An email that I prefer to use rather than what I'm about to use. So I'm going once again back to make.com and I'm going to share my screen. Good. So thank you very much for your patience. Yeah. So this is where we are now. All right. So I'm going to click on getting started or get started for free. It's coming up. Then I'm going to click on continue with Google. And I'm going to click on this email. And then I'm going to grant it access. And then I'm just going to click on sign up for free. Okay, so I'm going to click on it again. All right, so I'm going to click on I am not a robot, just to be sure. I guess it's thinking that I'm a robot. All right, so once I clicked on I am not a robot, and then I clicked on sign up for free, it then took me over here. So now this is where you're going to meet, okay? So you come over here and then ask you, how did you hear about us? You can just choose something. So I'll just say YouTube. And how would you describe your experience? You see, I have no experience. You can even say only me, all right? Then at this stage, you can just choose, well, you always have access to all of this as a matter of fact, but for a start, you can just choose Google Sheets, okay? The popular apps you are planning to use on Make. We're going to use, at least for today, Google Sheets. We're going to use Gmail, and that's about that. Any other thing that we require, we'll still find it. Then you click on Continue. Then it asks you, okay, what do you want to automate with Make? Well, you can just put in something, okay, an executive process. Doesn't really matter. All right. So I'm going to click on Get Started. And then it tells me, thank you. Then I just wait, I'll hold on a bit and wait for you to get loaded. And then it's going to take me to the make.com dashboard. And that's what is currently loading on the screen. So I'm taking you step by step so that once you're doing this on your own, you would know what to do. Because it's easier said than done most times. You just, quickly come and say, do this, do this, do this. And at the end, when you're doing it on your own, you can't even do certain things. That's why I'm taking you through the very basic routes. So make.com is still loading. Just give it some time. All right, good. So now we can continue. So now that I'm done signing up to make.com, I want to do something else, right? I want to do something else. Remember, we want to help Daniel what automate some processes coming from the Google form. Okay, so because of some time, I'm just going to do something manual a little bit coming from the Google form. So what am I going to do? I'm going to come up here. I believe you should be able to see my screen. Yes. I'll come up here and I'll put Google form. So I'm going to create a Google form so that I can get access to the Google Sheets. Once you fill up a Google form, right, and you link it to a Google Sheets, you'll be able to collect the data. So I want to be able to collect the data, and that data we collect is what is going to help us automate our processes in Make. So I'm going to say Google form. I'll hit enter. Then I'll go to my Google form sign in. And then I would quickly just come over here. All right, let's give me a minute. I need to get more storage. So I will just have to follow another route towards this. Okay, so I'm just going to use another form. So I'm going again to Google Forms. So still the same route, but I'm following another route to get there, another email. Good. So this works. All right, this works. So I'm just going to share my screen now, and then you're going to see what I have on my screen. Yeah. So at this stage now, we're going to create the Google Form. So I'm going to click on this plus sign, as you can see on my screen, and then I'll be able to create my Google Form. So it's still loading. Just give it a minute. I don't want to load with Gemini, so I just close that. I'll close all of this because I'm already familiar with Google Forms. So what am I going to do now? I'm going to give it a title. So the title of my form is going to be, I'm going to call it New Hire. Okay, we're going to call it New Hire. Let's just call it New Hire. So the new hires in this particular company, they want to have a session, right, with Daniel. So I'm going to call it New Space Hire. We're getting somewhere, all right? So let's just quickly do this. I will not put so much on the form, right, so that we can be able to achieve as much as possible today. So I'm going to say New Hire. I'll leave the description, and I'm just going to get the important things I need. I will need an email address. So I'll say email. All right. I'll make it required. Then I'll come down here, click on the plus sign, and I'll put in, what else can I put in? I'm going to put in full name, right? In no particular order. We just want to collect important data. So I'll say full name. I'll also make it required. What else? I think that's all, right? That's all we need for now to make things simple. So once I'm done creating New Hire, putting in email, putting in the full name, then I'll come up here to where I have publish. I'll click on publish, and then I'll publish this. Then I'll click on got it. I'll make sure that everything is saved. I can even click on this to copy the link. And you can choose to either copy the long link, or you can just click on this checkbox here to get the shortened URL. So I'll prefer that. So I'm going to click on copy, and I'll click on save. So I'm just going to keep that somewhere. Okay. So now we have successfully created our Google form. I can also come up here and just change it to New Hire. And what's next? So I'm going to click on responses. Remember, what you are doing is you are trying to access the form and sheets. Okay, so once we input something to this form, where is it going to get stored? It's going to get stored here under the sheets. So I'm going to click on link to sheets. It's going to ask you, should you create a new spreadsheet or not? Okay, you just click on create a new spreadsheet. Now, this spreadsheet we're about to create is very, very important. Okay, it's an important spreadsheet. So just have it in mind, we have this. So I'll keep this open while we get back to what we're doing on Make. So I'm going to reshare my screen again, and then we're going to go back to our Make so that we can automate the processes from there. Thank you. So now we are back to Make, and we have our sign in. So now the first thing you're going to do now is, once it gets to Make, what can you even do? How can we go about that, right? We have to create what we call scenarios, right? To automate this entire process, we're going to create what we call what? Scenarios. So I'll come over here and I'll click on what? A scenario. Scenario is like you are telling it, okay, once this happens, do this. Okay, once this happens, do this. For instance, you're going to tell it, once a user fills up that form, okay, once a user puts in details into the form, I want you to automatically send an email to this email. All right, I want you to automatically send an email to that email. I want you to automatically schedule a session between Daniel and the user that filled up that form. You're trying to what? Automate the process. Okay, you're trying to what? Automate the process. So I'm going to do that quickly. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click on create a scenario. And then you click on build from scratch. And then you come up here and you click on the plus sign. When you click on the plus sign, you're going to see all the available apps. It has so many apps. All right, we have WhatsApp. It has access to so many apps. Okay, so you can come over to the search bar and search for Google Sheets, space Sheets. Okay, you put what? Google Sheets. Then you come up here and you click on what? Google Sheets. Then when you click on Google Sheets, what do you want it to do when it gets to Google Sheets? Do you want it to add a row to the Google Sheets? Do you want it to update a row? Do you want it to do some form of bulk row addition? Or you want it to just watch new rows? So for instance, if someone imputes into the form, automatically it goes to the Google Sheets and then a new role is added. So you want to watch it. So anytime a new role is added, then you can now send an email, right? So if you want to do that, you can come over here and click on Watch New Roles. I know this is your first time and this can get a little bit overwhelming, but don't worry, you get ahead of it, okay? So now once you click on Watch New Role, it comes up here. Now you have to grant Make access to the Google Sheet you're talking about. Make doesn't know the Google Sheet and he doesn't have access to it. So this is where you come over here and you create a connection. So come over here and click on Create a Connection. So you're going to create a connection between Make and that Google Sheets. So I'll come over here and I'll click on Sign In with Google. Okay, I remember we don't have access to this, so just give me a minute. Let me just get this up and running. Okay, so I'll just click on Advanced Settings to get something else. Okay, let's just click on Sign In with Google, no problem. We'll make use of what is available, then I click on Use. I can either click on Use Another Account, which is what I should do at the moment, right? But I'll just click on this, right? Even though our Google Sheet is not linked to this account at the moment, but let's just do that. And I'll click on Continue. And it's going to ask you, select what Make can access, right? And then you read it. Okay, please come over here, read Learn More. You come down here as well and read Learn More. So you can be sure what is accessing, right? So, but personally, I've gone through it and I'm just going to check everything. And then I'll go down and I'll click on Continue. And automatically, we have been able to establish a connection between my system and Google Sheets, okay, with Make and my Google Sheets, right, my Google, right? So if you want to access the various Google Sheets that you have on your platform, you can come down here, you can click on Select, Search by Path. You can just leave that checked. You see My Drive, you can leave that checked, all right? And then you come down here to Spreadsheet ID, all right? Then you click on it, and then all of the spreadsheet IDs, that is all of the spreadsheets that you have, that is the Google Sheets that you have under your Google Drive, you can actually search for them over here. All of your Google Sheets, okay, you can search for them over here, all right? So let's say I have something on registration. I can come over here and I'll search for it, any form that I have, okay? But at the moment, I don't have that. So I'm just going to go back and check what I have at the moment. Okay, so just give me a minute and let me just check that quickly. All right, so let me just bring that up quickly and see what's existing at the moment. Okay, so I believe you all understood what I just did. So I'm going to switch on to another account quickly. All right, for my Make, apologies. All right, I'm going to switch on to another account. This particular account is having an issue. All right, so I'm going to switch on to another account on my system so that we can move on with what we have started concerning the make. All right, so I'm going to move on to another email and another make on that email. All right, so quickly I'm going to do that. And this email, I already created something around it before, so it's going to be faster. So I'm saying make.com again, and then I'm also, logging on to the email. I'm currently signing up. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so let me go back to what I was explaining. So I'm going to share with the screen I'm currently on, and then you'll see where I had to head up to. So this is where I am right now. Okay, so I'm back to make, right? I'm back to make, and it's coming up. It's coming up. Yeah, so this is it. Thank you very much. So I'll go back again to my scenario. All right. And then for my scenario, I already have previous scenarios on this particular account. So I'll click on create a new scenario, just what I previously just did. Okay. So I'll just click on got it. You know how all we got here. All right. So I'm just going to click here. Then I'll search for my Google Sheets. I'll click on Google Sheets. Then I'll click on watch new roles. I'm just trying to establish the connection. Okay, so what happened? I've already established a connection here before the class. So the same thing I did before was the same thing I did for this account, but this one established a connection because the other account has an issue. So I came over here, I clicked on it, I clicked on add. I came down here to search by paths. This is after granting Google access to my Gmail, of course. Click on search by paths. Then I've come down here to my drive. And now I'm scrolling down to click on spreadsheet ID. So I'm going to click click here to choose file. So I've clicked there, and then I'm going to search for my Google Sheets. And I'm going to click on registration form. That's the name of my Google Sheets. That's the sheet attached to a particular form that I created. So I'm going to click on that. Then I'll come down here. Once you click on that, automatically the sheet name is going to open up. You come over here, you click, and it's going to click on form responses one. So you're going to see the sheet name. So the sheet name that you have there is the sheet name that you're going to have here. In fact, most times it's actually going to be form responses one for every single one of us. So I'm going to click on that. Then I'm going to come down here. It tells you table contains headers. You say yes. You leave all of this. You leave the limit to 2, right? And then you just scroll down. Okay, leave it to 2. And then I'll click on save. Then it's going to ask you choose where to start. You can just choose and say start from all. That's okay. You click on what? Save. So you're done with the first instance. Okay. So what have you done now? You've been able to establish a connection between Google Sheets, all right, between Make and your Google Sheets, the sheet that you are trying to use to collect information from the new hires. Good. So now that you're done doing that, what's the next thing you're going to do? You're going to give it an instruction that once this sheet has been, once information has been imputed into the sheet, I want you to be able to automatically send an email to this particular source, to this particular email ID. So how can you go about that? You come again, and beside here, you're going to see a plus sign, right? That helps you to add another module. So I'm going to click on that. All right, I'll click on that plus sign, and then I'm going to come over here. So what do I want to do? I want to connect my Gmail to the Google Sheets. So that automatically, as it gets filled up, it's going to send an email to my Gmail. So that's another thing I'm also going to establish a connection with. So I'm going to click on Gmail. And then what do I want to do? I want to send an email using the information from the Google Sheets. Okay, I want to send an email to the new hire. I want to send an email to Daniel, to HR, whoever that I need to send an email to, right? Using the information from the Google Sheets. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click on send an email. And once I click on send an email, once again, you have to continue to establish connections. So what do? You come over here, you click on connect to Google Sheets. Right now, I've already established the connection, right? So you click on connect. Okay, once again, you have to grant, make access to your Gmail, right? Well, not your Gmail, but some parts, okay, so that you can be able to send one or two things on your behalf if you're comfortable with that, right? But like once again, I always tell you that you must read up everything so that you know what these companies are about before you grant them access. So you come over here and you establish the connection, and automatically, once you establish the connection, you'll be able to see yours like this. And then it's going to tell you have until whatever time period that you have to authorize your connection. So Nick will not have access to your Google forever. So you always have to be renewing the authorization. Good. So now once you're done doing that, you're going to come down here and you have to put in the body of the email. What's going to be inside the email? Then I'm going to come over here and it's going to tell me to, who are you sending it to? So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to add a recipient and I want to send an email. Once a user fills it up, I want the email to be sent to the user. I want, for instance, the new hire to receive an email. So I'm going to click on this place here. And then automatically towards your left-hand side over here, you see the Google Sheets. So I want to get information from the Google Sheets. So I want to get the email, okay, the email ID from the Google Sheets. So I'm going to click on the email column. Remember, we have the email column. You're going to see everything here, right? So you click on the email column. And then once you have the email column, you're good to go. So whatever email the user has put there, automatically, whatever message you're about to type now will be sent to that person's email. If you have 10 persons, it's going to send the same email to the 10 persons. Simple, right? Good. So I'm going to come down here. You can also add another extra recipient. If you want to add Daniel's email here, you can also do that again, but that's okay. We don't have to do that. So I'm just going to come down here, and next we have the subject of the email. So the subject of the email would be something like welcome address. Probably Daniel wants to address the people and does welcome. So you can say welcome address and you're good to go. You can also say, okay, if I want to say welcome address to Tope, for instance, right? You can also say welcome address to, then you get the full name. You just come over here. How do you get it? You just come over here and tap on what you want to get. So I tap on full name and automatically later on, once I run everything, run this instance, run this scenario, it's going to send welcome address to whatever full name the person puts inside there. It's going to put it there. Okay, welcome address. You see some of these customized emails. This is what some of them do. Right? So let's go down. Then next we have the body type. Okay, what kind of just leave it as collection of contents, text, images, etc. Right? That's the default one. Leave it that way. And then move on to the body content. What's going to be inside the email? So you're going to click on add body content. So inside add body content, this is where you can write your long email, or whatever it is that you want to write. Okay, so probably I could even say inside here, I could just say welcome. Once again, I'll put the person's name, or I can say dear. Let's put it that way. Dear. Then I come over here and I'll click on the full name. Then I'll put comma. You have been scheduled. You can also use AI tools to optimize some of these things, okay? But I'm just going to keep it very simple. You have been scheduled to have a meeting with Danielle. So you can just keep it simple, put any other address you want to put there, okay? So this is just an example. So you're going to see what it's going to look like towards the end. Then once you're done putting in the body, however long, you can just jump all of these things and you just go down, And then we can put attachments. Yeah, you can put a lot of these things. Okay, but we're not going to put that now. If you have some images you want to put, if you have some documents you want to keep on sending to every single one of them, right? You can have all of these stated here. So you can come over here and you click on save. So I've saved my second module, right? We call it module. The first module was Google Sheets. So once it gets into Google Sheets, it then automatically, once it gets to Gmail, right, it's going to send in an email to whoever just filled up that Google Sheets. Nice, right? Good. Now, another thing I want to show us, all right, another important thing I want to show us is this. Now, let's take a look at this. We have another module, but I want to create like a route. We call it routes, okay? So once you're done sending this, what if I wanted to do something at the same time? Okay, I want you to be able to send another email to HR once this happens, and I also want you to also send a Google confirmation, right? I want you to schedule a meeting via this person's Google Calendar. We can do all of that as a matter of fact. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to click on this plus sign. I know this can be a lot, but just try to flow. I'll click on the plus sign, and I have to click on what to call flow control, right? You're trying to control the flow of all the modules. So I'm going to click on what to call flow control, and then I'll click on router. Router is going to help me. You can see what just happened. Let me take it down a bit. Once I clicked on flow control and I selected router, it showed me two routes. It created two distinct routes. So once we are done sending the email, informing the students, oh, welcome, and etc., then the next thing is going to happen immediately is going to send an email to HR. Let's call her Danielle, right? And it's also going to go ahead and create a schedule. Okay, create a Google Meet link, right? Create a schedule with Danielle so that Danielle and this new hire can converse online the way we're all conversing now. So how can we go about that? I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click on this plus sign. I'll click on Gmail. And what do I want to do again? Yet again, I want to send an email, right? I want to send an email this time, not to any of the students, but to Danielle. So I'm going to click on send an email. And I'm going to bring this up. Remember, the email connection has already been established. So all I need to do is just come down here and click on to where I have add recipients. And this time, the recipients that I want to send to would be Danielle. Danielle Bonaparte. I can put anybody's email there at gmail.com. All right, I can put that. All right, and just to make this a little bit more interesting, does anyone want to give me his or her email? If you would like to share that, that's okay, so that I could add your email as well, so that you could also see this. If you'd like to share an email, you can put it in the comment section and I'll add it as well. Okay, so we have Danielle Bonaparte at gmail.com. That's the first recipient. I can even add another recipient. Okay, I can copy another person. And this time I could even copy my other email, my email rather. So whatever I'm sending to Daniel would also be sent to my email. Good. Now we have that. So once we are done now, we can come down to the subject of the email, and we can say new hire alerts. New hire alerts. All right, you can put that there, new hire alerts. So it's going to alert us that a new hire just filled up the form. And once you're done, you just come down and then you can put the body content. Remember, we don't need to change this, so we'll just jump the body type and move on to the body content. And yet again, we can just put in one of the things. So click on text, all right, and we'll say, hi, Danielle. You can say, hi, Danielle, comma, a new hire just joined, or rather, a new hire just filled the form. Just filled the form. And after saying a new hire, just fill the form. If you want to even specify the new hire, like you can even come down here and just put in the email, right? So this is not very professional, I understand, but it's just for purpose of illustrating. So I'm going to put email of the new hire. So I just put the email here. And how do I get the email? I'll just come again down here, and then I'll look for the email column. So all of these green parts you're seeing here are coming from the Google Sheets, all the columns in the Google Sheets. So I'll click on email address from the Google Sheet now. And then once I'm done, I'll come down. Yet again, I'll come down and I'll just say warm regards. That's all, okay? Warm regards, HR or something. So that's it. So I've put in an email, a body and everything. So let's go down. So yet again, we don't have to fill up these things. We just come down and click on save. So we are done with the Gmail. Now, what about the automatic, like you want to add whatever it is that you have done so far to the Google Calendar, you want to schedule a call with Daniel. What do? You go over to the other route, the other module, click on the plus sign, and then you look for what Google Calendar, which you can see here. If you can see it here, you come down here and search for it and click on Google Calendar. So what do you want to do in Google Calendar? You're not searching for an event, rather you want to create an event between Daniel and the new hire. So you create an event. So if you want to create an event between Daniel and the new hire, you come over here and you choose the account. Okay, so the account I'm using right now is this particular account, so I'll just choose it. And then I'll click on update my connection. So yours might just be showing you connection. Just click on wherever it is there, all right? Go to your Google and grant it access. So I'll click on Hafiz, all right? The particular account I'm currently using. And I'll click on continue to grant access. Then I'll click on continue yet again. So I've been able to successfully make access to the Google Calendar of this user. Nice. So what do I want to do now? I want to create an event. So do I want to create an event quickly? All right. Or I want to do it in detail. So we have two options. Either you can do it quickly or in detail. So I'll choose in detail, right? So then I'll come down and I'll click on calendar ID after selecting in detail. And then I'll just select the email I've been using. They say, okay, what's the event name? Okay, you can say chats with Daniel. Or rather, you can even say chat with, you can put the name of the person that you want to chat with. You can go ahead and look for the full name and put it there. That would be a better way. So you can do that. Then it asks you, do you want to add the meeting link, that is video conferencing automatically? You can say yes, that's okay. And then the list goes on, all right? You can say attendees. You can just leave all of these things as no. Then you can also specify the dates, all right? So when you come over, you can specify the dates. How can you change? Now, this is very important. Once you click here, now you have to move away from this default page here, and you come up here and you click on the calendar icon. So you can now specify the dates when Daniel can actually have a session with some of the students, okay? So you can put the start dates, and I can choose the start date of Friday. And then I can put an end date. Since it's 2 weeks Daniel needs, I can put an end date of, this is 1-2 of November 14th, right? Oh, no. So let me just remove this. I put the start date, so I need to go down to put the end date. So I've done the start date. So I'll come down, click on the end date, and then I'll go ahead and select November 14th. And then I'll come down. I can need the duration, and I'll just click on save. Very easy, right? Very simple. Good. So now this is the workflow. This is the workflow. So what's going to happen now? I believe you already have an idea. Once we fill up that form, automatically it's going to send an email to the person that filled that form, that is to the email that is recorded in the form. And once it sends that email to that person, automatically it's also going to send an email to Daniel and Akunna, and then it's also going to specify, all right, and have bring up it's going to bring up a Google meeting link, all right, a Google Meet link schedule with Daniel and the user that filled up that form. Very simple. So that's the process. So how can you go about that? Now, the first thing you need to do, or the next thing you need to do, is you need to save this scenario. So you come down here to this save icon and you click on save to save the scenario, and it tells you that the scenario was saved. Very simple. Good. The next thing you're going to do is it's going to tell it scheduling. So how often do you want the scenario to get updated? How often do you want it to run? You can tell it, you click there and you tell it, oh, every 15 minutes, every day, on demand, etc. Okay, so you can just leave it as every 15 minutes. And then once you click on every 15 minutes, you can come down here and you click on activate scenario. And automatically it's going to activate the scenario. So this scenario that you have created now has gotten what? Activated. Now, if you start running the scenario, one or two things should happen. But before we run the scenario, I want us to go up and fill up that form that was created. Okay, we're going to fill it up with a dummy value, right? So I'm going to go up, and this is going to look a little bit different from what we did earlier on, because I'm now using a form with this email. So I'm just going to call this Google form. I'm going to call it Google form. I'll wait for it to come up. Then I'm going to see the registration form here. Good. So I'm going to click on that. So that's the registration form I want to fill up. Good. So I'm just going to come over here, and then I'm just going to, I'm going to copy the link. Yet again, I'm going to copy the link. I showed us how to do this earlier on. I'll copy the link here. And then I'll save it. Good. So now that I've copied the link, I can even take it to another platform, another tab, and then I'm going to fill it up with information, with data. So that is what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to reshare my screen so that you can see the next tab, the tab that did not create this. Okay, that is the email that wasn't used to create this. This is where I got to. So I'm getting there again. So I'm going to get to registration form, and I'm going to fill it up with some information. So I'm going to put the full name of someone. I could just put Rashida. Okay, then I can put female, right? I could put an age. Let's look at an age. Let's say 30. Okay, and then I can put an email address. This is the first user. So the first user, I could even put my email address. So I want you to just see this working. And then I can put country. All right, and then I'm going to click on submit. So it has gotten submitted. So I'm going to go back to my make to start running it. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my make to run it. So I'm going to go to Windows, and I'm getting back to my make so that I can run this instance for the first time. All right, so how do I run it? You've already saved. So you come up here, all right, and you click on run once. You come down here rather and click on run once. You just wait for it to run. So you can see that the Google Sheet ran, it got executed, everything got executed. Okay. So at times it might even take some time before you see the email, right? But most times you always see the email. So I'm just going to go back. I'm going to open up my email so that I can see what's there. Or I could even try out opening up Daniel's email if I still have access to it to see what's there. So remember, automatically it was going to send an email to that Gmail that I put there. And then it's also going to send an email to Daniel. Thank you very much. So it actually worked. So I'm going to share my screen now, and then you're going to see the email that was sent to Danielle, who is assumed to be the HR. So you're going to see that now. Good. So there we have it. Right? There we have it. If you look at this closely, let me try to zoom in for you to see it properly. You can see it over here. Okay, that was too much. You can see the new email that was sent. Right? It was sent. New hire alerts. Hi, Daniel. So I'm going to click on that, and then you're going to see it properly. You can see it was sent a minute ago. Hi, Daniel. A new hire just filled the form. Email. Hafiz Kumbakta. Right? Warm regards, HR. So it fills it up with the email. Right? It goes ahead and it picks up the email that was there. Okay? So this is showing because before now, I already filled up the form with lots of emails, and that's why it's showing Hafiz Kumbakta. So if I check a place, one of the the other messages, you're going to see Akunna. But very quickly, let me go back to the other email that I was using, and I'll check for the new hire form that's also there. So I can go back to my email address, my personal email address now, and then I'm actually going to see, or rather I should see, a new email that just got in. Yes, and actually got it. So I'm going to share my screen now, and then you're going to see the new email that also got in from here. Okay, I think I'm having issues with this. All right. But anyway, a new email was brought in, okay, was brought on board. And the same thing that we put there to notify a student, all right, that all you have just registered, welcome and everything was sent to my email, just as you directed Make to do. All right, so that is how you can automate some processes, okay? And as you advance more, as you practice more of these things, okay, with time, be able to even do more complicated processes from now. So thank you so much, everyone. I hope we're able to learn something. So if you at least got one or two things from today's session, at least you now know that this is what you can use Make to do, please kindly give me a thumbs up. Okay, Philippe was able to, at least you can see what's possible. All right, amazing, amazing, amazing. So later on, you can come back again to this recording, right? It's being recorded. Come back again and practice on your own. That's why I try to make it as basic as possible so that you can also test it out from your end. Thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for having me today. Hi, Treasure. Please, are you on the call?
Hi, Akunna. I'm not getting a lot of reactions. You just did an amazing, fantastic activities, and this house is very, very cold. Please, let's get your best reaction so far for your facilitator. It's not easy. If you want to get an executive assistant, you know how much you will spend, and this is something you're going to be doing with little to no money. So please, appreciate your facilitator for such an amazing work. If you're asking how you're going to get the recording, please just fill the form, the attendance form that is being dropped, and you have access to the recording. Uh, just go ahead to fill the attendance form, and then you have access to the recording. So we're going to move over to the next aspect of this. So you have gotten your executive assistant. How about you need to build your own agency, or you need to start getting that job? How do you go about it? Okay. And that's where we come in terms of the next set of activities for you as an individual, someone looking to get started in tech. Where is the place for you to start? If you want to be able to build an executive assistant, if the attendance form is not working, please just drop your email address so that they can send you the attendance form by mail, and to be easier for you to access it. So drop your email. Deborah or Janet or Consola would send the information for you, and then fill the attendance form. So you can have access to the recording. You can have access to Akunna's material. You want to be able to build this on your own. This is a good time. So for individuals that are, quite interested, or if you've never heard anything, I'm not sure anyone has not heard anything about artificial intelligence, but if you haven't heard anything about AI and you're looking for where to get started, if you also want to learn how to build executive assistants and AI powered executive assistants, then this is the place for you. If you want to learn how to create your own chatbot, this is a place for you. If you want to learn how to create different workflow, automate it, and sell to companies, this is a place for you. Okay. So when it comes to AI right now, there are different career pathways that you can walk through. You can become an AI automation specialist. You can become a workflow specialist. You can become an AI automation engineer. And all these are just fancy titles. What you're majorly going to be doing at the very core of your workflow is the fact that you would be connecting different tools to execute flows automatically. Okay, so these are products that you can end up selling to companies, like I mentioned. These are, if you worked on different projects, you can build your portfolio, and you can also freelance. If you are talking about tools like NSM, Flowise, there are a lot of people and organizations that do not still understand how to make use of this tool. You can teach people and make money from it. And the orga of them all, the umbrella of them all, if you're looking to get a job, these jobs don't even just pay in naira anymore. And if you're paying and earning in naira, we are talking between 700 to over 1 million naira for roles with AI automation engineer. And if we're going outside of Nigeria, talking about the US, Canada, UK market, you're looking at nothing less than $50,000 to $60,000 every year. So this is something that would really be beneficial for you if you're looking to improve yourself in your current role, or you're looking to transition into a new role. This is super, super important for you to get on. So Mary, Akunna just spoke on one aspect, a very minute aspect of it, creating an AI powered executive assistant. There's so much more to be learned and so much more to be done. If you can see my screen, you see like there are different tools that we're going to be teaching you if you take the course with us. So there's Anytime, there's Zapier, there's Gradeo, Flowise, Chroma. These are over 12 to 15 tools you're going to be learning and working with. Okay. If you've ever wondered how what's the name now, Siri works, this voice agent, and you want to create something like that, then look no further. This is where you're going to get all that. If you've ever wondered how to create chatbots, okay, whether on Telegram or WhatsApp, you see people are able to tag a lot of people, send you information, and you don't know you're not speaking to someone specifically, you're speaking to an AI chatbot, then this is a place for you. Okay, so what you'll be learning end to end in your AI automation class is the very foundations of AI. The AI automation flow, the AI automation tools you'll be working with, LLM tools, how to also prompt properly. A lot of us still use ChatGPT and Gemini, but you don't know how to prompt. That's why you would send a message and say, oh, help me write an email to my boss and say this, but you don't give actual context, okay? And, funny thing about these AI tools is it's sort of like garbage in, garbage out. It is what you give me that I would output. So if you don't give me correct information, so to say, I will keep giving you different formats of answers that you don't really need. And you continue going over and over again. There's a lot of back and forth. But if you prompt properly, it enables you to get your desired response in the very first try. So this is why this is super important for you to get into, whether you're looking to transition or even if you are working as a finance operation, regardless of the industry you're in. If you want to be able to automate your flow end to end without having any issues, this is where you need to be as soon as possible. Okay, so if you're looking to join AI automation engineering, there are going to be classes 8 weekends. It's going to be starting next week Saturday. So if your salary just dropped, please keep it now for this. A section of it, not all your salary though, but keep a section of it to join this course. It's going to help you going into 2026. All those things that you spend 8 to 10 hours, you can do it in less than 15 minutes. And I think that everybody wants to be more productive with their time, to make more money with different phases. And this is where you get to do that. So classes are going to be on the weekend because we understand that you're working professionals and you have to go to work Monday to Friday. Even if you're working remotely, Saturdays and Sundays are a bit more convenient. So classes on Saturdays are 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., Sundays 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. And the classes are going to be for 8 weeks, where you're going to be working on different projects. At the end of each class, you're going to be having your projects. And the whole basis of this is so you can build your portfolio. when you want to apply for these different jobs, they're going to ask you for your portfolio. And if you don't have that, it's as good as you're not basically having that skill. And at the very end, you're going to get a certificate. It is internationally recognized by the American Council of Training and Development. So this is something that you can use anywhere in the world. If you want to listen to our participant that has done marvelously well with AI automation, then once you get this material, click on this link and you have access to that. The next programs that we have is generative AI for data analysts and generative AI for HR analysts. Okay, so if you are looking to get into this particular program, so people in the data ecosystem, that is my data analysts, my data scientists, data engineers, this one is for you. Or if you're looking to get into that, it's also for you. So we understand that you basically have to get started with the foundation aspect. So Excel, Power BI, Tableau, SQL, if you're using Microsoft Stack. But if you're using Google Stack, there's Google Sheets, there's BigQuery, there's Looker Studio. So these are the tools you'll be using as a data analyst. But how can you automate things like that? Even Power BI now has, Copilot embedded in it because it's under the Microsoft Stack. How do you make use of that to build dashboard? How do you write queries without actually writing queries? Okay, this is where generative AI for DA comes in. We're going to be looking at the different tools of creating multi-agent system for analytics as a data professional, how to clean the very messy and dirty data that you have, how to create pivot tables before you build your beautiful looking dashboard that when you present to stakeholders, they would be wowed, okay? But you get that done in less than 15 minutes and you go doing whatever you need to do. This is where you need to be. And these are the different tools you'll be working with. There'll still be Excel, Power BI, just to give you a core understanding of data analytics. Now, there will not be an additional implementation of the AI aspect to it. So Claude, Gemini, Copilot, all of this would be taught in your class. And at the end of the day, we're not just teaching you and that will be the end of it. We'll teach you how to monetize your skills, how to get jobs, and also, if you want to freelance, how can you put yourself out there and what type of role should we be targeting? So our classes are also Saturdays and Sundays, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., Sundays 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Then we also have, hello, can you hear me? Can anyone hear me? Apologies, everyone. Please confirm if you can hear me. All right, all right. Apologies for that. Okay, so as I was saying, okay, I can't see someone's hand is raised. But I'll just go on with the presentation. Right after that, we can take any questions that you might have. So for the HR professionals, what you're going to be learning is the core understanding of generative AI. So when it comes to attrition rate, when it comes to performance of your staff, you want to understand the reason why your staff are always falling sick, why they are not doing professional development, or why they are being trained for different courses and is not showing up in their productivity level. You can do this backed with data, and that is what you're going to be learning. So you learn the key aspect of HR analytics, and then you move over to how to implement different AI tools to improve your processes as a HR professional. So this is where you come in, and these are the different tools that you'll be working with. And then moving on to my favorite aspects, not that I'm partial, because I'm a project manager, an AI project manager to be specific. You have the generative AI for business analysis and generative AI for project management. So project managers, you know how it is to write your business case, write your project charter, and you've always wondered, oh, how can I do this in less than 2 weeks? Because before you even get your requirements, there's quite a lot of things that needs to be done. So there are different tools, even your typical tools like Trello, Jira, Asana. Everybody is implementing AI into it, and you need to be able to make use of it. Or the very next time you're going to be applying for a role, they'll ask you, "Can you make use of Trello AI?" And that would just be the thing that sets you apart from the other person. Okay, and you're going to be learning all these different AI tools when you're working in class. You're working on different project cases for each of this, and you get a very clear understanding of what you need to do. And for the business analyst, talking about your process mapping, talking about having the entire project life cycle being discussed, how to analyze your business data and come up with recommendations, requirements analysis, gap analysis, how to test and deploy for the different information that you've gathered during your business. You're going to be learning how to do that with different AI tools, and it makes your process faster and makes you more effective. So if you're able to do something that needs to be done in 8 hours in other 5-10 minutes, you can have the time to apply or work in other activities or get money from other sources. This is just maximizing your activities with your skills and your knowledge, and that's where it's going to be beneficial for you. Okay, so in terms of starting today, our next program is going to start at by 8th of November. That's when we're going to be starting the next cohort. And the important part, treasure, how much does it cost? Okay, so all programs go for 200,000. That's the full amount. But right now, because you're on the call and you took out time to join us today, there's a discounted amount for 150,000 for AI automation engineering, and every other program is 100,000 naira. So I know people's salary comes in today. Your salary came in yesterday. Okay, so this is a good time for you to budget. So if you can't pay the full amount, you also have the option to pay in up to 3 installments. Okay, so for AI automation, you can start today, pay 70K. You get access to the pre-onboarding package. You pay the next installment in November and final installments in December. If you're going for any of the Gen AI course, you just pay 40K. Pay 40K right now, and you have access to all the pre-onboarding packages. Then November, you pay your 30,000 naira, and then in December, you pay your remaining 30,000 naira as well. So why don't you get started today? This is the most important aspect for you, having that skill to going into 2026 that can give you maximum amount of money. You're not going to be working, like I mentioned to you, the salary range for these programs, these courses, if you're looking to actually get a job as an AI project manager, you're not getting anything less than 700,000 naira for that role. I'm not saying ordinary project management, it's quite lower, but having the AI aspect to which you get a lot more. AI data and an AI automation specialist is almost in the same cadre as a software developer, someone that's doing back end or front end. So you know how much those are priced. You should know how much this would benefit you. So even if you are in any other industry and are looking to transition into tech, this is a step for you to take. If you own a business and you want to understand your business processes and be able to analyze it end to end, Gen AI business analysis is for you. If you are an individual looking to automate workflows, even in a financial space, okay, you can go through AI automation or generative AI for data analytics. So there are different courses that you can choose from and will end up benefiting you right now. Like I mentioned, first 20 people, we have limited slots. Slots are pretty much closing up. I think we just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 slots left for this. So please just ensure that you lock in your discount. Like right now, go ahead, make payment into the account details on the screen. My colleagues are dropping where you'd also upload your receipt. And then once you've done that, you have access to the pre-onboarding package. Okay. So like I mentioned, the certificate you are getting, it is accredited by American Council of Training and Development. So this is the certificate you'll be getting. So you see, as you can see, this is actually registered in Canada. Okay, let's go back. So you can see it's registered in Canada, and it has is being accredited in the US as well. So this is a certificate that you can use anywhere in the world. Okay, so right about now, I'm just going to open up the floor for questions. I know someone dropped something about being a facility manager, but I dropped off before I could get that question. So if you could, raise your hand, drop your questions in the comments, we'll go ahead to respond to them. Okay. So let's have your questions. Let's have your questions. Okay. It could be in relations to Akunna's class. It could also be in relations to, okay, as a facilities manager, real estate manager, building manager, who is mostly on the field, which of the programs would most likely suit you? Okay, so I'm not really sure who this person, but Consola, thank you for dropping that. So as a facilities manager, it depends on the particular role that you or what your major interest is in the tech space. Okay, so facilities manager, you are handling like different building, making sure that maintenance is good, making sure that people pay their rent as at when due. For real estate, you're looking for different plots of land and in different areas to get these things done. But for now, if you're looking at these different buildings, you also need to look at the historical aspect. For the type of clients or type of tenants you've brought in so far, how have they been? Okay, how have they been handling the facilities so far? In terms of real estate, what type of areas are most likely to get bought, so to say? Okay, but for you to get that data and analyze it, you are going to be getting it from different sources and different locations. So I would recommend you to go for GenAI for data analytics, because you're going to be working with a lot of data, and based off your responses or understanding of the data, you are able to make realistic decisions. So if you want to further buy other lands in different locations. So let's say I'm going to use Lagos as an example. A lot of people are saying, go and buy in Ekpe, go and buy in Ikorodu. The future is going in that direction. Okay, and you see that the amount of people that are getting the land there are increasing on a day-by-day basis. It's just like when you're investing in stock. You go ahead and you go and buy that. But for you to be able to make that decision, you have to base it off data. You have to be able to understand and analyze the data yourself. And the different ways to do that is gather data from different locations. Oh, if I buy in Lekki, if I buy in Surulere, how much will it cost me? What are the type of people there? What is the cost of living there? How close is it to the city metropolitan area? So there are different information you need to analyze. And based on that, you're going to make a decision, and that decision will determine how well you're going to earn money in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So that's why you see AI for data analytics is a fast way for you to get access to that as soon as possible. Okay. Another thing is if you create a product, making use of NSN for workflows to be able to analyze this data for different locations. You can sell it to real estate companies. So you can sell that product to real estate companies. You can also freelance as an AI real estate specialist. Okay, so it means that you're going to be analyzing data when it comes to the real estate market, and then you're going to be helping people. There'll be like predictive analysis. There will be understanding the historical aspect of the real estate data, and based off that, you're going to have the information that you would use to sell and increase the sales of the different real estate counterparts that you're going to be working with. So I hope that clarifies your question. I don't know who this question is from. Well, I hope that clarifies. If not, you can drop more questions or comments in the chat, and I would respond to them. Or you can also raise your hand if you have any question, and I would go over your questions as soon as possible. Okay? All right. This house is very, very quiet and very cold. So just to make sure that you are all still here, all 33 of us that have the call, give me your favorite reaction. If it's a thumbs up, if it's confetti, I want to make sure that we are still here. It's usually Mafat, Eyo. I'm seeing 33 people. Olalekon. Okay, Samuel, Afone. Okay, I see some old people that always join. So are we only 5 on this call? Have everybody gone to sleep? It's just 9:30. If you've gone to sleep, please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up under the sound of my voice. Yeah, so let's have your questions. Does anyone have any questions? It could be in regards to what was taught earlier. It could be in regards to the training program. Please go ahead with your questions. I'm going to start calling names though, because everybody is too quiet. Adewale, I know Afoni has always joined our session. Ayotunde, Demand, Edidiong, Edit, Etim, Ayo, please go ahead with your questions. If you have any questions, please go ahead with your question and I will respond to it as soon as possible. Okay? Okay. So are we all good? Are we all clear? If you are clear and good to go, give me a thumbs up. So I just ensure that we all got the message clearly. Okay. Please let's have a thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Okay. Is only edits. Do we only have edits here on the call? Please let's get a lot more thumbs up. All right, Etim. Okay. Etim is the only one giving a thumbs up. Okay, so Samuel, Mafat, Adewale, Micah. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the next question I see on the chat. So apart from the certificate which will be issued after the program of AI automation, is there any other certification exam? Okay, so for AI automation, at the moment, there are no major certification exam. So that's why you're going to be learning the skills based off the particular tools that you're working with, whether it's N8N, whether it's Zapier. You just have to have a key understanding of the tools. So once you have your certificates that certifies that you've been able to undergo training for these different aspects, and you have your project portfolio to back you up that you've worked on these different projects, then you are good to go. Ayotunde, I hope that clarifies. Hi, Ayotunde, are you there? Okay, so I'm looking forward to seeing you in class. If you are looking to go for any specific one, AI automation engineer would be a good fit for you. Okay, so I'm gonna still ask if there are any. All right, so another question. I'm an alumnus. Okay, I would enroll for the program next quarter. Next quarter is literally next week, Saturday. And Etim Joseph, I know people have received salary this week. So please, you people should go ahead to make payments because, like I mentioned, the discounts would not last. We would not have discounts going into the December cohort. So that's why I want to emphasize that it's very important that we close out on this because class is starting next week Saturday. So you don't have to pay 150,000 naira. I understand Nigeria is hard. Okay, if you cannot pay 2 installments, there's a 3 installments plan. So either you pay 70K, you pay 40K for GenAI, for DAHR, and then you start class immediately. Okay, so Etim, I hope you is next week Saturday the deadline. Yeah, next week Saturday is the day the class is starting. So if you want to make payment, especially for the discounted amount, you should lock in your discounts latest before this Saturday to get started next week Saturday. So like I mentioned, if you see on the screen there's 70, 40, you can just lock in with that so that you are committed. Because once you put money into something, you're most likely going to go through with it. I remember when I started out at the gym, I always work out at home. And I tell myself that I'm devoted. But when I went to go and register in the gym and I know that I put money into it, I have to carry myself. There are days when I don't want to go, but I remember that I spent money on it. So you need to make that level of commitment and then you get started right now. So you can have access to the pre-onboarding package. Anyway, I hope that clarifies. Hi, Ayo, are you there? Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Are there any other questions? Please ask your questions now. Ask your questions. Because if you are here to this very point, you have a very strong level of interest in the program. So if you need me to clarify on any of the information before we wrap up, we can wrap up in the next 2-3 minutes and call it a day. But I want to make sure that everyone is as clarified as can possibly be before the end of the session. Okay? So, Epidion, Olalekan, genetics help build our profile. Olalekan, yes, absolutely. So, apart from just the training aspect of it, there is what we call the employability services package, and that would, basically cover LinkedIn optimization, CV review, portfolio building, and things in that light. So would help you build your project portfolio based off the projects that you're working on at the end of each class. Help you set up your profile, even if you're talking about the freelancing aspects like Upwork, remote work, even on LinkedIn, making sure that you have that attached on there. That would be fully done, with the assistance of a coach. So Alalekon, you're fully covered in that aspect. We're not only teaching you and saying that's the end of it for today. We're teaching you and also providing you the necessary tools to be able to land that job. So just go ahead to register for the program, and then you have access to the LinkedIn coach, the CV review coach, and that would guide you end to end in this entire process. Okay. I hope that's clear, Olalekon. Hi, Olalekon. Please let me know if you heard, if you're able to get clarity on that. You can respond with a thumbs up just so that I know that you are good to go. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So, Olaleko, I'm looking forward to seeing you in class. Just go ahead to register. I'm still putting this on the screen so that and no one misses out on it. You can go ahead to make payment to the account details on your screen. You can either make full payment or you can make part payment, regardless of the programs that you are going for. Okay. So this is 9:35. I'm gonna give 1 more minute for any final questions before we call it a day. Oh, you've registered already. Oh, fantastic. Oh, good. Amazing to have you here. So I'm waiting for the other people on the call. So Mafat, you're very, very active in class. So I would love to see you in the program. There's Michael, there's Samuel. So please let's just have you guys join the session. Ayatunde as well. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the session starting next week, Saturday. If there are any further questions, please now be the time to speak. If not, I think we're going to draw the curtains here for the evening. And then, oh, yes. All right. We have amazing people. We're all registered. Okay. So please, like I said, we just have 6 slots left. If you are looking to register, that window is closing out pretty soon. So please go ahead to make your registration and you get access to the class end to end. Okay. Thank you so much for staying with us up until this point. If there are any further questions, you can always reach out to the number where you're supposed to send your receipt. If you need clarification on anything, just let the person know and they will guide you on what you need to do. That being said, thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye, guys.